One day, without warning, my right eye decides to fall out. I'm shaving and something pops. I barely see a whitish thing fall into the sink. It whirls of shaving cream and hot water. In the mirror, my reflection leaves little doubt. My right socket is open like a coin purse. I try to close the eyelid, but it's a broken shutter. 5 seconds of panic. I scour the sink for what I've just lost. There, just above the drain, my whole eye sits on top of a coiled nerve. The irises twitch and stare at me. I feel no pain. Now, I'd rather avoid touching my eye with my bare fingers, but that's not on my mind. Top priority is to get it out of the drain. I pick it up between two fingers, trying to ignore how squishy it feels. The red nerve endings make it look like an oversized tadpole. I'm definitely getting pink eye after this, assuming I have an eye after this. I settle my right eye in my palm. It's like in my line of work, you fix an issue and 10 new issues come up. My face still has a hole, beckoning, daring me to put the eye back in. Do nerves grow back? Do nerves get severed? My eyeball shakes and I feel disgusted by my own ignorance. I'm still waiting for a spike of pain that's not coming. Thuds on the bathroom door. My wife asks, "Are you ready?" I've got a problem, but don't freak out. She comes in without asking, and to her credit, she doesn't faint. Maybe I don't look that bad without an eye. My empty eye socket maybe adds some mystery. What have you done? Nothing. I'm a bit offended by the implication. It fell. I'll drive you to the hospital. Well, I don't want to go there holding my eye. Have you got a box? She finds an empty jam box, one she sterilized recently. My parade through the hospital's ER is quite legendary. Waiting with us, a lady with a broken ankle, an old man suffering from low blood pressure, a boy who won't meet anyone's gaze. Nobody else carries a piece of himself in a jar. The on call doctor points a pen light at the hole in my face. No effect. I almost want to joke about it. Something like, pretty clean for a wound, just, to ease off the tension. My wife is tapping her foot on the floor, and I keep my mouth shut. So, so it slid outside. Yeah. I wonder if I should mention that it touched shaving cream, and you didn't feel any pain. No. Well, I fear it's a case of eye-related emancipation. He points the pen light at my left eye, and I blink my left eyelid. Asymmetric. What do you mean? The left one could fall as well? Well, it doesn't seem like it wants to. For now. Can you can you fix it? My wife asks. The doctor looks at her. She got out in a hurry wearing house clothes, sweatpants, and a pancake stained t shirt. A woman caught off guard without her usual armor. Stolen intimacy. The doctor's gaze is not exactly professional, but before I can intervene, he moves to my winded blind spot. Well, we could push the eye back, sure, but it would be useless. The eye decided to be free, and in 2 days it would just fall out again. I turn my head, and the doctor does as well, staring at me. Do you cook at home? Yes, sometimes I cook. Well, you don't want to accidentally stir fry your eye. Believe me, pushing it back would only delay the inevitable. We could give you an eye patch to keep it in, sure, but as you realize, having an eye under an eye patch defeats the purpose. So, It's lost then? Well, don't lose hope just yet. As I said, the left eye is healthy and happily placed. That's why the human body has a certain imperfect symmetry. I realize the doctor is trying to get on my good side. Well, give it a second, and I'll call in our resident optometrist. There may still be something we can do. Ma'am, would you kindly follow me outside? My wife checks if I'm okay, and I nod. And just like that, I'm alone in the room. I touch the plastic bed I'm sitting on just to make sure things exist, even in my blind spot. Left alone over a white shelf, my right eye lazily stares at the door. I'm a patient, forced to be patient. 20 minutes later, just as I'm starting to get used to the idea of getting a special driving license for driving half blind, the doctor comes back with two others. One of them fidgets with the zip of his trousers as he gets in. Those are my esteemed colleagues, Dr. Rubicante, surgeon, and Dr. Cagliano, optometrist. We take turns shaking hands. Cagliano, the one that closed his zip, quickly examines my empty socket. Oh, I see we have the textbook case of ocular emancipation. Ocular, that's the word, murmurs the first doctor. Dr. Rubicante shuffles the jar with my eyes. Well, that is impressive stuff. I concur with my colleague, Cagliano goes on. The eye will not go back in willingly. However, I see your hands are quite on the wider end of the spectrum. Sturdy. Thanks? Rubicante bursts out laughing. Are you being sarcastic, sir? He hits his bulging stomach with an open hand. My eye jumps in the air. I love your sense of humor. Come on, let's all be serious now, says the on call doctor. Well, as I was saying, we could open a crevasse in your palm. A what now? I'm pretty sure I heard that term somewhere else. Well, a crevasse, of course. A slit, a slot, call it however you like. A new home for your wayward eye. With time, as the nerves readjust, you could learn to see again. From my hand? From inside your palm. The optometrist traces the lines on my hand as if trying to read my future, and I'm convinced this is all an elaborate joke. Gallows humor from medical professionals. But no one cracks a smile, not even the surgeon. They are all wearing the longest of faces. We've executed this procedure with success countless times in this hospital, Rubicante says. Even so, an eye in my hand seems unpractical. I'm right handed. I'd have to squish it every time I grab something. Where's my wife? Well, what does your wife have to do with this? Asked the on call doctor. She is in the waiting room. Doctor patient confidentiality is everything, the optometrist says. What we would really need to discuss is how much you value your eyesight. The surgeon places his own open hand before his right eye. Sure, none of our patients stay like this for long, maybe just at the movies, but be warned, our society harbors many prejudices against disabled, or rather, differently abled people. You could live a perfectly normal life without your right eye, that's for certain, but there's no reason to discard viewpoint just because it would look uncommon. The new socket would extend your field of view. It could be useful in endless situations like instead of opening the fridge to look at its contents, you would just have to slide your hand in. Last but not least, I have to remind you that the option of opening a crevasse is a privilege in itself. Some patients suffering from ocular emancipation don't have this option. I don't know if this was the point, but the lengthy explanation makes me feel ashamed. Maybe he's right. I was refusing a perfectly good option just out of fear. Well, okay, if we were to go forward, I wanted to ask what the next steps would be, but they don't hear me. The three doctors buzz like bees. Rubicante pulls a surgical lamp from the ceiling, and the glare stuns my good eye completely. The optometrist produces an anesthetic face mask and covers it over my head. Well, you will need a good sleep then. Now count to 10, and I'll count to 20. I cannot help but breathe, and next I'm off. The eye looks at me from its new crevasse, a diagonal slit on my right hand. My palm has a bump where the eye sits, a bit squishy, but not entirely uncomfortable. If I focus on my hand, I can move the eye left and right and up and down. No pain from the open wound. I can even see blurred light from my right eye if I focus on it enough. I'm alone in another room. I'm fairly certain that it's not the room I got in first, even if they look virtually the same. Same plastic bed, same whitish shelves. My reflection in the mirror lacks the right eyelid completely. They cut it off to put it on my hand. Now my face has a red void, a money slit. I cover it with the back of my right hand, jutting the eye forward like the doctor showed. I walk out on my feet. Outside, there's a long hallway of sky blue chairs, empty, and a stench of dead cats and lemon detergent. Someone just washed the floor with a dirty mop. And I search for my wife in this endless waiting room.